Now, different types of hooks. The hook could be in the form of a question. Let's look at this example. What do you do in your spare time? Remember that we are writing an essay about hobbies, your hobbies, or pastime activities. Now, I can start my essay or introduction with this question. What do you do in your spare time? And of course, the answer, I don't expect an answer. More or less, I'm expecting that you be attracted to the essay, which would be about the way you can spend your spare time. Now, another type of hooks is the interesting observation. Now, when I say observation, I will be, in fact, dealing with a statement or a number of statements which record my views. It could be also the way I perceive, it records the way I perceive or see something. And there is one condition, it should be interesting. Now, how do you make your hook interesting? You can make it interesting by adding words, metaphoric words that will spice up the statement or the thesis, make it the hook, make it attractive. Let's look at this again. Hook which could be suitable for an essay about your hobbies. When work swallows me down, I leave it aside and practice one of the hobbies I like. Now, look at this hook with me. It's an interesting personal observation. I'm just commenting on my own life and saying that when work swallows me down, when I'm so consumed by work, when work exhausts me, I just leave it aside, forget about it, and do something I like reading novels or writing poetry or painting portraits. And notice here, what is interesting is the first section of the statement. I have this metaphoric expression of work swallowing me down like an animal or a monster or something. And of course, this will attract the reader's attention because he wants to know what are the things I do to avoid this particular experience of being swallowed up by work. Now, let's go again or to a different type of hooks. We have another types of hooks, the quotes. You can quote a famous person, comment on something, comment on life, or a quote from books, or a poem, part of a poem, a speech from a novel, whatever, just to attract the reader's attention. And of course, it should be related. You are not just quoting anything which is irrelevant. You have to make sure that the quote you are extracting is related to your work. So let's say again, I'm writing an essay about my own hobbies that I practice during my free time. I will quote Leo Ben-Acker, comment on hobbies. A hobby is only fun if you don't have time to do it. And this is a famous quote by a person named Leo Ben-Acker, and I have to make sure that this is phrased correctly, that this hook is well structured. So a hobby is only fun if you don't have time to do it, enclosed in quotation marks, because it's a quotation and there is a comma after do it. Then I'll finish the sentence, my own words. Leo Ben-Acker says of hobbies. Leo Ben-Acker comments on hobbies. So this would be the hook in the form of a quote, and it will attract the reader's attention to what goes on in the essay. Another form of hooks is the statistics. Now, a statistic is a percentage, a scientific statement about something. So again, some people are attracted to scientific statements, statistics, and documented work. So when they read, for instance, that for instance 30% of people die of cancer every year, then they are or they get attracted to the content of the essay and they will go reading it. Let's again write a hook in the form of statistic about the topic we've been discussing until now, which is hobbies. Thousands of people all over the world practice different hobbies as a way to reduce the pressures of life. This is wrong thing. So thousands of people all over the world practice different hobbies as a way to reduce the pressures of life. Many others just have hobbies for fun. So this is my hook in the form of a statistic, and of course it is a simple statistic. I don't have exact percentages or a documented work or a documented statistic here. I just have some kind of an overall impression, and it's there for the reader who will be attracted, of course, to reading the rest of the essay, just to know how far such a statistic is true or false. Now, another form of hooks is the scenario. A scenario is a story. Again, I'm writing an essay about my hobbies, and I'm writing the hook in the form of a story or an impression, a personal, an account of a personal experience, etc. Now, look at this statement or number of statements. I do not like to be pressured by work. Sometimes I search for a way out of all the troubles I face at work through self-expression or reading. Self-expression, I'm referring to writing, poetry, and painting portraits, and reading, of course, this is reading novels. But this would be a proper hook for my introduction in the form of a personal impression or a story, a scenario that can attract the reader to go on and finish the rest of the essay. Now, my comments on the previously discussed items.